Hello, friends. Today I'm going to talk about mankind as it stands today. Of course, the backdrop is going to be the coronavirus, COVID-19, as it is normally termed as. Yes, it obviously started as an epidemic and went on to become a pandemic. The situation is not that this thing has occurred. The situation is, and the bigger concern is that how we are reacting to it as a world. The human beings more tend to focus on the problem rather than the solution because it's easier to reiterate the problem again and again in a different format. But it is more tougher to think about the solutions. Yes, we are fully aware that scientists and medical professionals and researchers are thinking about the solutions. But meanwhile, what are we doing as a mankind? Yes, we have improved from where we were, I should say 3 months ago. We have become more sympathetic. The empathy has increased amongst human beings. Even though there is social distancing, we have become more closer to each other in terms of love and compassion. People are thinking about a bigger community as a whole rather than their individualistic, materialistic achievements, I should say. So, yes, there are improvements, but this should be an ongoing thing. I don't think we should focus on corona pandemic as a problem. Maybe this is a nature's way or a nature's call to create an awakening amongst humans, mankind, that we should be looking for more constructive approaches rather than destructive approaches. We are going from traditional weapons to nuclear weapons to biological weapons. Why are we bent upon defeating each other? The purpose of every human being or a state or a nation should be to win against themselves, better themselves every day, rather than making someone else lose. There are a lot of people right now coining this term coronavirus, and they are saying they are waging a war against us. Corona is not a human being. Corona is not a race. Corona is not something against which one needs to wage a war. We are trying to deal with a situation as a human race against this pandemic, and we sure will win. We have gone through SARS, we have gone through flu viruses. Maybe this one is blown a little more out of proportion because of the digital media which we have today, which we didn't have 10 or 15 years ago as much as we have today. So perhaps it is blown out of proportion, but we all do realize that yes, this pandemic exists and we need to deal with it. So rather than looking for solutions, we are coining it as a war which we need to win. No, it's not a war. It's a situation which we need to deal with. This is not a disease pandemic. It has become more an economic pandemic. The world is crushing day by day. So while we figure out the solution for this pandemic, we need to be more human. We need to be more sympathetic. We need to love one another. We shouldn't be fighting against each other and try to win against each other. We need to win against ourselves. We need to make ourselves better. Yes, we read the stories about how this is a biological weapon and this was created and this is a laboratory made extension of SARS, etc., etc. The bottom line is, yes, COVID-19 exists. We have to deal with it. But what we need to do is, as a human race, not a China or United States or a particular any country or Italy or any other country in the world, we as a human race must rise against our hypocrisies, our way of dealing with different countries in the world, and not try to win against anybody. Every country should be self-sustainable. Imports and exports will always be there. But every country should look after themselves, look after the well-being of their society, and in turn, the world will be a better place to live in. So right now, the situation is, as a human mankind, we created machines and allowed machines to control us. We created artificial intelligence, and it seems like we have left common sense way behind us. So what we need to do is, as a race, we need to arise. We need to come up with better plans and actions to make this world a better place to live. People talk about coronavirus as a war. People are talking about the third world war which China has waged against us. Let's forget about all those things. Let's look at integrity and accountability. Whoever it is, does not matter. Whether it's China, whether it's WHO, somebody needs to step up and accept the responsibility. There are two ways to solve any problem. First, accept the responsibility, and secondly, change the things, which means find the solution for it. But accepting that there is a problem, and yes, we have created this problem, is the first step. And then work on the cohesive solution towards a better human mankind. That's what we are looking for. So in nutshell, we are not racing against each other. We are not competing against each other. We need to compete against ourselves and be a better human being. I think that will be the approach which we can take upon ourselves and be a better human being. It starts from a person. A person needs to be a better person, better human being. Thereby, a state will be a better place, a country will be a better place, and ultimately the world will be a better place to live in. This is how all the problems should be approached. And I must say, we should not be using even a word problem. There are always opportunities of improvement. So if something comes up, we need to come up with the solutions rather than discussing the problems over and over again. So we need to find out what the solutions are for this pandemic and try to work on it. Hopefully, the world will be a better place to live in, and there would be lessons learned from this, and people will start admitting what has been done wrong and how are we not going to do wrong in coming future. Thank you so much.